first met Shabana Azmi at the FTI, before she became.
I never met her when when Shabana was in the FTI. I never met her there. She had finished her course at the FTI. In fact, I didn't know of her existence, nor did she know of mine. When she was either later in college and then FTI afterwards. It was really a fortuitous meeting because one of my assistants, who used to live in Juhu, knew her because he also knew the family. And that's how I came to meet her when I was casting for Ankur. But she is quite an extraordinary person because it's not only as an actress. Of course, no question that she is one of the most important actresses of her time, as far as India is concerned. But more than that, I think she is also, as a person, a deeply socially concerned human being. And her work, particularly in slum rehabilitation, in women's empowerment, and a whole lot of other subjects, is quite substantial and continuing because her commitment is lifelong. So she has these two things she does. On one side, she's a brilliant, absolutely brilliant actress. On the other side, she also does some wonderful work when it comes to the society in which she lives.
How did you think of casting her in?
How can I?
How did you think of casting her in Ankur? Considering
In fact, I'd come to the end of my line when you say, how did I think of casting and my film? In fact, I hadn't found anybody. I'd come to the end of my line. I was a bit depressed that I haven't found the actress of my choice and of who my imagining in the very first film I was doing. And fortunately, Shabana turned out to be that person when she came to do an audition for me. But I really didn't need an audition because her personality, there's so much liveliness, energy, vigor, and animation, in her personality, very animated personality. These qualities were quite enough to tell me that here was a great actress.
And she fitted very well into a rural character.
Yeah, I cast her as a central actress, as a central character, Lakshmi in Ankur. Of course, that was only the beginning for her because she achieved much, much more as an actress as the years went by.
While casting her, I asked you, she was a modern Indian woman Indian woman was studying films in FTI. But you cast her as a rural
A village person. A village person,
How do you see that?
a Dalit village woman. Well, you see, that's the marvelous quality that she has. She can be anything. She can play anything she wants. Because that's what actresses are meant to do. Actors are meant to do that. They're meant to be able to fit into any part you write for them. And she has that wonderful ability. She's never failed anybody in that sense when it comes to her own performances. The films may have failed, but she has not failed in her performance. So that has been her quality all from day one. And that is how she has developed over the years. And of course, when it comes to her, the way she looks at the world, her worldview is concerned, that I think was largely shaped by her parents, because the father was a communist and had a way of looking at the world which helped her get her sense of worldview, which was very important.
Directing her, what did you see in her as an actress? Something that really struck
Who?
you while directing Shabana Azmi.
Yeah, what about it?
Something that really struck you. What did you see in her as an actress?
What do I see in her? You see, the fact is that her performances are quite exceptional in the sense that like all good actors, or all of the best actors whose work you see, you will always find that whatever they do, there is always a sense of promise of much more. You know, this is a very good quality and an exceptional quality for good actors. Because when they give a performance, it's not that what they had to do, they've completed it and they've saturated the part. They have not. It's always, when you see them perform, you know that there's much more coming in there than what your eyes can see.
When we look at her choreograph, we've seen she has done offbeat cinema and also mainstream cinema.
She's done
Masala
everything.
films, yeah. Is it was it a conscious decision on her, a way of thinking of her that if she appears in the mainstream cinema, in the Bollywood mainstream cinema, commercial cinema, will it attract more audiences to her art films also?
You see, when you're making a film, you're not. I don't believe your eyes trained to that. You are doing what is at hand, and you're giving it your best shot. That's what people do, whether you're a director, actor, whatever. As far as Shabana is concerned, one thing I can tell you, there is no performance in which she hasn't given off her best. She'll never be casual about her work. Even if she's done the same kind of part 500 times, she's not going to be casual about it. She'll give it her best shot. Now that is an exceptionally good quality, and an extraordinarily good quality, which I hope, of course, the other people in the film business will also learn from her.
But her stepping into commercial cinema, do you think it got more audiences, attracted more audiences to the art cinema that she
Well,
did?
you see, there is no such thing as art cinema in our country, seriously speaking. You might say that there are certain kinds of sensibility that are different from the mainstream cinema. She's been in both those kind of films. But having been in both those kind of films, she hasn't done a tightrope act or anything like that, but she has walked lightly and nimbly, to give the kind of performance any filmmaker wants, which means that there's a great deal of versatility.
Exactly, one question I wanted to ask you was her versatility, because she's done so many different roles. In every film, she was a different character, and she was a very versatile actress. Your views on that? Your views on this, her versatility as an actress?
As an actress, you see, if you look at in terms of playing dramatic parts, she's the best we have. Comedy, she's done wonderful comedy. Even for me, in Mandi, she's done excellent comedy. Romantic parts, she's also done romantic parts. Then, if you are talking about other kinds of roles, whether she's done them, she has. But of course, she will always be remembered for her dramatic parts, because they were always exceptional. Her dramatic parts have always been exceptional, and she's given an outstanding performance each time.
You have done so many films with her. You made so many films with her.
Yes, I have, yes.
Tell us something about Nishant.
You see, now that is not an easy part. It wasn't an easy part for her to do, but she really did that so well, because there's a great deal of complexity to the character as well. These are not simple black and white characters. Now, her ability to create a personality, in other words, she emerges from any film in a total way, not as a cutout, not as a cardboard cutout, a two-dimensional figure. She comes out of every film as a three-dimensional, fully formed figure with an excellent frame of mind, and what's the word I'm looking for? She has she can do all manner of roles, but where she absolutely excels is in drama. That's what I personally feel. I'm sure she does other roles equally well, but in terms of drama, very few can compare with her.
Her role in Mandi.
Yes, Mandi was one of her difficult parts for her to play, which she did with great aplomb, because A, she had to put on a lot of weight, and she's a very slim girl, and to put on all that much weight, and to lose it at the end of it, because she had to lose the weight if she wanted other parts in films. So naturally, she did a lot of work in trying to put on that weight and then to lose that weight. And in that film, she needed to have, because she's a madame of a bordello, and therefore she had to look the part, and also be sympathetic, not just play that part.
She is a very public figure, and she is known for her. We've seen her social activism. She's involved in a lot of causes.
Mm.
You have witnessed her in, your comments on her social active life.
See, I have seen Shabana do many things in the cinema, in the theatre, as a public personality. She has done all kinds of jobs, all kinds of things, and she's done them all brilliantly. So whenever I see her, I look at this, I marvel at her abilities, because she's a hugely thinking person. She's a very capable social worker, a very capable political worker, a brilliant cinema worker as an actor, and a great theatre personality because of all the theatrical work she has done. You find that all of it is of a very high quality and standard,
Shabana asked me the theatre actor.
Well, as a theatre, that's what I said, as a theatre actress. They're just now, of course, she's doing that wonderful part that, her mother, from her mother's book, of the great love story between her mother and her father. And she does that along with Javed, the two of them do it together, which is wonderful, absolutely marvelous. If you haven't seen it, go and see it.
Anything you can, you want to
I can't, but there's a lot, of course, if you're going to talk about Shabana, there's so much to talk about. Because she also does a great deal for people. She's a very, very helpful person. These are little known things. She helps younger people a great deal, particularly in the film business. She goes, she has a great commitment in every aspect of that term, yeah.